I just go to my this. I go to say Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. We're not talking about the starting 11. Now we have 2 starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's not about 2. Let my 2 and 3 they come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you. Next season.
This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name is Benwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Benwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
there are two chances. Just like you said, Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball that he could have scored. At least he could have given, even if he didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Yeah? Okay. Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. I just go to my this account. Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. We're not talking about the starting 11. Now we have two starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's all about two. Let my two and three come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next season. Hello viewers, you're welcome to another beautiful day of football. This is Premier Sport Fan Center and I remain your host Egbenimwe for today. And it is the group of age, the FIFA Females World Cup is on the way. And we are here to cover it live. The match between Colombia versus Morocco and the match between South Korea versus Germany. In Group H, already it is Colombia who is top of the table. But at the end of this match, we're going to separate the girls from the women. Well, I'm not alone in the studio to talk about all the happenings as the match is being played. I'm with the one and only Shegelu. Shegu by name.
Good morning, Solomon. Yeah. Good morning, football lovers. Good morning to our faithful fans, our viewers around the world. Well, it's supposed to be a beautiful game of football. You know, Morocco versus Colombia and Germany versus Korea. Though Korea are out of the competition, but you know, Morocco, Colombia, and Germany still stand a mathematical chance of qualifying to the second round. Colombia currently tops the group with 6 points, so all they need here is just a full-time draw. So I expect not really much from the Colombians than just take it, you know, make the game a respectable one for themselves. It's just unfortunate for the Moroccans that they'll be playing against this very good Colombia side. you know, when they take motivation from the young, what's it called?
Linda.
The young Linda Saido, and there's a young Ramirez also in that team. Fantastic players and good players. You know, they are outsiders to actually win this competition. Right from the first 5 minutes we've seen in this game, we'll have the first goal in the game between Korea and Germany. Korea just scored a goal against Germany, and they are currently leading Germany. So it's getting very much you know, interesting in that group, because Germany also needs a win or a draw to actually qualify, and they'll be banking on Morocco to actually get a victory here over. They'll be banking on Colombia to actually get a victory over Morocco. So in the early stages of the game, the goals that come in, we've seen the Moroccans, you know, get into the game as early as possible, and they've actually dominated play for the past 5 minutes. The clearest chance we've seen in that game fell to the Moroccans. So if they can keep this momentum, then, you know, they can join their fellow African sisters, talking about Nigeria and South Africa in the second round. 85 minutes to play, still a lot of time to play in the game of football.
Still a lot of time to play in the game of football. South Koreans, to me, they look like the underdog in this encounter between them and Germany, but they just shocked Germany, and that goal came in the 6th minute. It was scored by Chun Sung-hyun at the 6th minute. What a surprise goal.
Well, it might be a surprise goal, because one, like the United States of America, the Germans has not really been at their best in this competition, apart from that 6-0 doubling of Morocco, who are also a debutant at this World Cup. The Germans has not really, you know, they've not lived up to expectations. This hasn't been the Germany we've always known at the FIFA Female World Cup. Same thing with and that is the Moroccans, the South Koreans who are trying to get another goal. Same thing about the South Koreans. They used to be a very good team when it comes to female football. They might not be, you know, one of the teams that have actually won it, but they do give a good account of themselves. And they'll be looking for inspiration from their talisman, talking about the lady in their number 10, is it Lee or G, who once played for Chelsea. So, you know, that's where they'll be taking their inspiration for. They've not really lived up to expectation, and I know they'll be looking at the game they lost to, to Colombia in the group as one of the reasons why they fall here. And they also lost to Morocco as well, who are also a debutant. I think they lost that game 1-0 due to an early goal. So they've not really lived up to expectations, same as the Germans. But you know, you can't just take anything away from the Germans. They can get that goal out of nowhere. They have fantastic players in that team. When you have a talisman like Pop in the team, you know, the goal can pop out from anywhere during the game. So she's one person the Koreans need to actually be careful of, because she has good running, so she's very good when she runs in between the line.
All right, in between the line, talking about the Germans, a lot of bookmakers, you know, predicted them to come top in this group stage, given the fact that they are twice World Cup winner, you know, you know, but Colombia gave them a very good fight, and I expected them to retaliate back in this match against South Koreans, because to me, this very group now, South Koreans look, you know, a team to beat, and they would have this opportunity, because I was expecting them to come and cover the you know, maximum goal, you know, to qualify, even though if Morocco happens to win, you know.
Now, if Morocco happens to win, then Morocco moves to 6 points. And that would have been a better goal advantage for Germany if Germany should win this game. It's still very much early into the game. We're still in the 9th minute, so you know, anything can still happen. I'm still banking on the Germans to actually get a victory in this game. But still, you can't take anything away from the Koreans. They've actually come into this game, you know, very much lively. You know, it's one ball game when you have nothing to lose and you're playing for pride. There's less pressure on you. And we know that the Germans are the ones there who actually needs this game. They have to attack the Koreans. But they have to be careful, because that's how risky and how dangerous this Asian team can be. We saw the Japanese ladies, just 5 shots on target, and 4 happens to be a goal. So they have to be careful with the Asians. They are very tactical and they are technical, very good when it comes to taking shots. So they have to be careful on that side. And when you look at the German bench, they have fantastic players. There's Lopez on the bench. These are players that can actually come in and change the face of the game. So it's still a game in hand. It's very good that we got the first goal very early in the game. It's surely going to make the game very much interesting. And same thing we're expecting from the Morocco-Colombia game. We've seen Morocco, who have actually, you know, settled into this game very early, and that is what we want to see for them. But you know, it's one thing for you to dominate play, and it's one thing for you to transfer it into a goal. The goal is what really matters. We've not really, so Morocco have to just try and get that goal as early as possible before they type the likes of Casaido and Ramirez get into the mood of the game, where it will be hard for the Moroccans to actually play the kind of free flow of football they want to play.
All right, and to our viewers, you can send in your live chat to be part of this show, and you can also send in your prediction to be part of this show. Talking about the African side, the Moroccans, we have seen it, like you said before, the two brothers and sisters, South Africa are already through, Nigeria are also through.
Yeah.
And to me,
that was the first chance for the that was the back net, and that was a good defending from the defender there. And these are the kind of run of plays the Moroccans have to be careful of, because these Colombians, they are so slicky when it comes to playing ball up front. They are a very good and fantastic squad.
Wow, very good and fantastic squad. So, and I expected the Colombia to have this in an easy run, because they look better when it comes to playing and when it comes to effective football. They look better than the Moroccans. But so far, so good. I can see that the Moroccans, they have a game plan.
That's a chance for the Germans. That was side nets in there. And those are chances the Germans actually create. So the Koreans too have to be careful at the back, because when they actually have dangerous players. When you look at players like Shola up front, and you have Pop up front, these girls can get goal against the run of play. And talking about the Moroccan games, yeah, it's still very much early into the game, 11 minutes. We've not seen the Colombians actually get into this game. They've not actually grown into the game. There's been a game Morocco has actually dominated. Probably the Colombians are playing with the mindset of they are having one of their leg in the second round already, because with 6 points already, they are looking likely to actually make it. But they have to be careful, because if Germany should get a victory here and Morocco gets a victory here, it's actually going to be hard for the Colombians to actually... No, I think Colombia will still make it to the second round if Colombia is having 6 points and... what's it called? And if Colombia ends up with 6 points, Morocco ends up with 6 points, Germany ends up with 6 points, it's going to be Colombia and what's it called? Germany.
Yeah, because Morocco is considered
so much goals. Considered 6 goals against Germany will actually be their greatest undoing here. Yeah. So they need to get a victory and pray that Korea actually defeats the Germans, or the Germans actually plays a draw here. That is what is actually going to favor the Moroccans. When you look at the kind of play Morocco have actually played in this competition, right from the first game against Germany, they are a team that is not really scared, of taking the ball to the opponent, and they're very good at the ball. They put the ball on the feet and play fantastic football. It shows how much football has actually improved in that part of the country. They've spent a lot of money. They've improved. We've seen the female WAFCON. The last one was hosted in Morocco, and they got to the final of that, where they lost to the Bayana of South Africa. So they have what it takes. And, as a debutant, getting one victory against a team like South Korea is actually a big motivation for them going into the qualifiers for the Olympics. So I expect very much for them. Even if they don't qualify from the group stage, they've given a good account of themselves in this competition.
Of course, they've given a good account of themselves in this competition. Let's quickly look at the starting lineup of the Moroccans and Colombia. For the for the Moroccans, they are playing a tactical football of 4-4-2. Then Colombia playing 4-2-3-1 formation. So what can you kind of preempt what both coaches are trying to achieve right here?
Yeah, Morocco are trying to play the traditional formation of 4-4-2. Trying to make use of the wing and having 2 strikers up front, because they actually know they need the goal in this game. They are the ones who are on the back with 3 points, and if they get a victory here, that's putting them 1 foot in the second round. So they are the ones who are actually here to try and look for the victory. That's why the 4-4-2 is actually a very good one for them, so they can play with the full pitch that's using the wing and the attackers. When you look at the Colombians, they are the one topping the group with 6 points. All they need here is the full-time draw. So when they are defending with 4 defenders and 2 defensive midfielder, it shows they are trying to be very much compact and control the midfield of the game, so that they don't give an openings to the Moroccans from the midfield, which I feel is very good for them. When you look at the major threat of the Colombians is in the attack, where you have where you have Ramirez and Linda Casaido. They can actually come into the game, with their flair, they can actually change the face of the game. So I think that is why the formation is that way, and it's actually working well for both teams. We've seen the Moroccans more on the attack than the Colombians. So it's just about when is the goal going to come in, and that is what is really needed. Because by the time I get into the 38th minute, we'll be seeing more of the ball with the Colombians, because by then they'll have settled into this game.
Yeah, that would have settled into this game. Let's quickly look at the starting lineup of the Moroccans. The Moroccans, you have Ait El Haj, Benzina, Chiberk, Al Chad, Emichi, Girardi, Lamari, Nakach, Azraoui, Diki, Redwani, then Tagnov, Tagnot. That is the lineup of the Moroccans. Is there any well-known popular player in the Moroccan sport?
Well, that is the beauty about Morocco. You know, it's a team that is just coming up, so it's a team play they actually play. There's no really one focal player that you look at and say, oh, this is the star player in this team. All the players are actually very good, and this is more like the starting lineup. We've seen them, we've seen the coach, you know, actually trusted from the first game. So I think we can see it from their play. They are not looking out of place at all. For the first 15 minutes, they've actually held their own against the Colombians. It's just about how are they going to keep the momentum up for 90 minutes is what's important. And then we can see the star player talking about Linda Saido. She's actually down from a knock from the Jabites, talking about the Benzina, the Jabites, talking about the Jab ladies for the Morocco. You just hope she's not out. The injury is not really much for the 18 years old. And we just hope she can continue this game. Okay, that was a stomp. I don't expect it to be very much. It should have very much effect on the young lady.
Oh, that was a stamp.
That was a stamp, yeah.
That was a stamp. It should be a yellow card.
I don't think it's a yellow card. I don't think it's a yellow card.
Should be a free kick.
Yeah, it's surely a free kick to Colombia. Should be.
And talking about we'll come to that later. We'll talk about Lena Caicedo later. Our flexibility and prompt to injury and. We'll talk about that later. Let's quickly look at the starting lineup of the Colombians. Before that, let's look at the free kick by Usman. Quickly taken. Who is there? Oh, that's over the bar. Then for the starting lineup of the Colombians, we have areas C, areas D, 2 areas there. Then you have Bidoya, Durango, Caicedo, Linda, Carabali, Montaya, Perez, Ramirez, MT, Santos, Usme, then Venegas. That is the starting lineup of the Colombia. Has anybody?
Wow, a good one, a fantastic squad. We've not really seen them grow into this game. They're still trying to contain the Moroccans very early into this game. It's about when are they going to actually grow into the game and try to dominate play. It has really been the Moroccans we've seen for the past 18 minutes of this game. So I think they should just be very much careful. So the Moroccans, though, transform the form, the early ride in the game into goal. That is very much important for the Colombians, so that they won't find themselves at the back foot. But I'm an African, so my money is on Morocco. I'm trying to play against the run of play and see if Morocco can actually get the needed victory in this game, because it's very much needed for Morocco to get a victory. It would be so much good for Africa to see or to have 3 Africans make it to the round of 16. That is what we actually want to say. They actually play fantastic football. You can see they're not looking out of place. They were just unfortunate to just get that 6-0 victory, beating against Germany in the first game. It's not like they didn't come to the party.
It was a welcome, goals. They've not actually gotten their bearings, and they just welcomed them with 6 goals. But right now, you can see them fighting back.
You can see that didn't actually, that didn't actually derail them. It didn't make them look bad. It didn't make them feel pressurized.
And that is the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino.
Yeah. He's there to enjoy, fantastic and good football. And don't forget yesterday when we were talking about FIFA paying directly to the players. Yeah. And Infantino actually, and I rightly predicted that yesterday. Infantino came out to talk about it yesterday, and we saw a lot of football analysts talk about it yesterday. That FIFA is not actually playing the players directly. They'll be paying to the FAs. But this time around, the difference is they're not paying the whole money together to the FA, whereby the FA now dictates how much they are going to give to the players. But this time around, the FIFA are mandating them that so amount is going to each players, and there's that specific amount that the FAs have to make that payment to the players. It's never always easy for FIFA to come up and pay the players, because the players are employees of the federation. And FIFA itself, it's an association of federations. So it's not really possible for FIFA to come directly. So let us correct that miscalculation or miscommunication that's going everywhere around the space. It's the FA we have to hold, because yes, now the players can be short paid. because there's a specific amount that has to go to the players. That would have been the very first goal of this game for the Colombians. And I think the Morocco goalkeeper has to be very much careful the way and calculate and have good calculations when coming out to for crossings, because that was a miscalculated flight there for her, and that is something the Colombians might actually take advantage of, and that is Colombia on the first fruit, and with that be the first goal, and it's still within the defense of the Moroccans, who finally cleared their defense line, and that's Morocco on the attack right now. And let's see what they're trying to do there. They lost the back to Sociedo, and you can see now that the Colombians are actually trying to grow into the game. Not what we've seen from the Morocco. It's now more about Morocco trying to defend in the game, and it's still 20 minutes played. Let's just see if they can hold their own and not concede that all unnecessary first goal in the first half. That was very much lucky for the for the Moroccans at the back there.
Very, very much lucky for the Moroccans out there. The Colombians, what a tactical play. The Colombians are beginning to heat up their game. They started it very calmly.
Yeah, they started very calmly.
That's part of the experience we're talking about. Right now, they don't need to play very intense football so that they can avoid getting injured. Because it's looking good for them.
You have to avoid getting injured.
Yes.
They are going to the second round.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the first game or second game of the group. This is just more like a rubber stamp game for them. If they get a draw in this game, they got the victory they needed against the most important teams in the group. Talking about Korea and Germany. So they got the victory. Like, nobody really expected them getting that victory against Germany. Everybody were probably they'll get a full-time draw or get defeated by the Germans in that game. But against all odds, they came around and got that victory. It was very much needed. You can see the inspiration on the girls. You have to be the best to be amongst the best. When you beat a team better than you, it motivates you, gives you that sense of belonging, and that is what we're expecting from the Nigerian girls when they go all out against against the
England.
Lioness of England on Monday. It promises to be an interesting game. This is Morocco on the attack. Let's see what they get to do. They're still trying to create a chance, and creating that chance has actually been a problem for them. Right now, they are trying to play more of a mass attack and mass defensive game. You can see the players, they are all defending together and coming to attack the Colombians together. Right now, we have just 2 Moroccans in the cycle of the Colombians. So, this game is looking like a game that might, at the end of the day, end up in a full-time draw.
Of course, looking like a full-time, but I'm very sure that the Colombia will have a lot in reserve for the second half. But they just want to take their time. They want to take it calm. They have that's why sometimes it's good for you to do your work very early. First match, second half, you relax the second match. So that you have time to relax. Get your players to have a lot of fresh air, so that when you come into the second round, then you come back again. That is when the battle begins. So you don't have chance for draw this time around. Just go ahead. This time around, you can draw and relax. You have already done the work. So let's quickly look at the Colombia. They are head-to-head in the previous matches. The last 5 matches, they have not lost any match. In the last 5 matches, they play against Germany. They defeated Germany 2-1. They play against South Korea. They defeated South Korean 2-0. They drew against China 2-2. They drew against Panama 1-1. Then they won Panama away from home 2-0. That's to tell you the form they are right now.
Good form for them. That's why they came into this competition as an outsider to win this competition. Nobody's actually putting an eye on them, but everybody knows how good the Colombians can be. I remember the first day when the FIFA Female World Cup started, and I was all about the Colombians in that group, that they will actually be the hardest nuts to actually crack in that group. And it's so painful that Yemi is not in the studio today, because I remember telling him that it was like Colombia shouldn't be a problem for the Moroccans to actually scale through this group. When you watch and you look at their persistence from the under 20 to the under 17, how good they were at those age grade footballs down to the senior team, and you look at this team is actually dominated by these players that have actually played together for the past 2 years. So that's what's it called? That bondness is there. They know each other. They've been playing with each other for long, and that's what we're seeing in their play against the Germans. They were so hard to crack against the Germans. Physically they are there. They are good runners.
And the fight was oh my God! I love that match.
Without getting tired. So that is what they actually offer. We've not really seen the best of them in this game. They are trying to keep it cool and calm, so they don't just overwork themselves and get themselves injured in this game. But at a point in time, we'll see them trying to play those tactical football we know them to do. And I'm sure the coach is already trying to understand where the Moroccans are actually having their shortcoming in this game, and that might just be a penalty for the for the Colombians. Let's see if VAR is going to check that because it seems there's an amber in the box.
All right. Then let's quickly look at the form of the Moroccans in their last 5 matches. The last 5 matches they played, they only won 1, and that was the match they won against South Korea. They were defeated by Germany 6-0, defeated by Jamaica 1-0, then they drew with Switzerland and also drew with Italy. That is the form of the Moroccans. Is it good for the World Cup, right?
Well, you know, it's actually somehow not really good, but you know they are debutants at the World Cup, so every result, at least they didn't lose 4 or 5 games before this game. We know how other debutants played before coming into the competition. It's not always easy for you to come into your first competition and you are playing fantastic football like this. It shows how much has been invested by the Moroccans into female football. Now, not just female football, their male football is also good. They got to the semi-finals of the last FIFA Male World Cup in Qatar. So that shows how much they are actually investing in the growth of the football in their country. So, you know, it's actually a good result for them. They only lost to to Germany in the last 5 games. So it's still a fantastic result for their own standard.
For their own standard. Now remember that the Colombia defeated Nigeria in one of the friendlies in February.
Yeah.
February 10, they defeated, and that goal was scored by Linda herself.
Yeah, she scored against her.
That was in the 90 minutes. In the 90 minutes, she scored. It was an early goal, and the squad of Nigeria they were much there. But I think Oshola was not in that squad. Ajibade was there. Kanu was there. Ebiamangu was there. Koronkwo. They were all there, and Colombia defeated them 1. So it was a good one for them. Then let's quickly talk about the Moroccans. The Moroccans, they had a very good history coming from the background. You know, initially, 99% of the Colombians, they are Muslims, and I want to give kudos to them because they were able to come up, and their first outing in the world in female soccer was in 1999. That was in 1998, sorry. In July 1998. That was the first match they played against South Africa, and it ended 1-1. That was a long time ago. That is, if you add it now, it should be around 25 years ago, the female they started, and today they are in the World Cup. And they've also developed some of their leagues also. And the best win they've ever got was against Lebanon. They defeated Lebanon 8-0. And the worst defeat they've ever gotten was from Nigeria. Nigeria defeated them 8-0.
You can look at the squad. You can see the squad. You can look at the caliber of players they have. They have to actually be thankful again to the closeness to Spain, because they have a lot of players who are actually based in Spain in this squad, who has a point played for Spain age grade national team before nationalizing or moving to play for the Moroccans. Yes, it has been a long time coming for them, and here they have at the World Cup. And they've actually not given a bad account of themselves at the World Cup. They've actually been fantastic. It's just unfortunate they are in this group. I would have fancied Morocco in that group, that South African group, and they won't have had any problem with anything in that group. They would have taken both Argentina and Costa Rica to the cleanser and give Sweden a good run for their money in that group. Unlike what we saw from the South Africans. It's not like the South Africans actually gave a bad account of themselves. But we have a squad here which is actually very good from the defense to the attack. We can see it's evident in the way they play that this is a squad that is actually good. All they just need is just 1 or 2 more experience. And that is why the next WAFCON will actually be interesting, because you look at a team like Morocco, they are a suspect to actually win that competition. They have a very good squad, and they're capable of getting to the final of the WAFCON and winning it again. Don't forget when they hosted it on their home fronts, they got to the final, and they're still hosting the next WAFCON. So it's a lot of pressure and lots of home support is there for them when they host. So everybody's eye will be on them. African football is getting interesting. And the growth is actually interesting to us, because that's what we actually want to see from the girls and from CAF and FIFA. They've actually invested so much in female football, talking about FIFA now. And that is why you see the monetary aspect, how much is growing for the competition. And that is what we actually want to see from football generally. And it's good. Let's see if we can maintain this momentum. All
right, let's see if we can maintain this momentum. Another thing I want to talk about the Moroccan side is after a decade now, FIFA banned hijab. But right now, I think they've called off the ban. Everybody can. And now I want to give kudos to Benzema for being the first person to wear hijab in this new generation.
Yeah, I think the ban was lifted around 2011. That was when players were allowed to use hijab. And at the point, that was why we never had most of these Arab countries. We know the culture. We know the culture and the Islam. What's it called? Islam rules that these countries follow. That's their doctrine. That's what they actually follow. That's why it's hard for us to have female countries like Saudi Arabia, Arab countries. That's the North Africans, and let's just put it together. The Arab Leagues of Nations. That's why it's very much hard for us to see them play at the World Cup, because it's part of their doctrine that they mustn't open their air. So it's good that FIFA is trying to be flexible and trying to imbibe everything and bring everybody at speed and everybody together. Yes, the first thing is you have to respect everybody's culture. The culture comes first, and the belief in culture comes first before the game itself. So it's very good that they're giving that chance for us to have that, and that's the first shot on. That's the shot off target for the Moroccans, and they've actually given a good account of themselves for the first 30 minutes of the game. Let's see if they can continue that momentum for the next 15 minutes, because as it stands right now, Morocco are second in that group with 4 points as it stands. Colombia will be top in the group right now with 7 points, while Germany are still on 3 points, and Korea are also on 3 points. 30 minutes has been played in both centers, and let's see what the next 15 minutes is going to hold for us.
All right, let's talk about the coach of the Colombian side, Nelson Abadia. That is his name, Nelson Abadia Aragon. 67 years old. I think he has been the Colombia coach for a period of time now. And how will you rate, the team he has put together so far in this one?
Well, one thing that really matters most in football is continuity. When you have a good coach, when you have a good FA, yes, the FA is not really that much good, because when you look at, I think Colombia is one of the South Americans who also have an issue with female football alongside Nigeria. There's also Jamaica who also have an issue, because there are some South American nations that actually don't pay the females because they believe that it's not a professional league when it comes to female football over there. So when you have a coach that can actually come up with this kind of fantastic squad, even in the face of everything they're going through, it shows how good the manager is. And you look at the squad, you look at the team that held their own against Germany. A team that got a league of players that got to the final of the FIFA Under-20 Female World Cup. So it shows how good they are, and it shows that they can even still get better than what they are playing. So I'll give it to the coach. He came up with a good, fantastic set of players, and it's actually paying off. Everybody, all eyes are on Colombia right now. It's not easy when you have an 18 years old, trying to dominate, play in the midfield for you. We know how hard it is in football, but you have a teenager doing the runnings in the midfield. It shows how good they are. So, fantastic one for them.
All right, another information is that the coach also has a son as a player too. That is Mario Albadia. He plays for Plantains in the Colombian side, and he has been doing well. That means he has a lot. And let's talk about the Moroccan coach. The Moroccan coach also. And how will you rate him? That is Reynald Pedro, the manager of the Moroccan side. He has been able to bring the Moroccans to the World Cup. And how will you rate his impact in the team?
So, well, if there's one thing that is sure, Morocco knows how to spend money on their football. We saw the male national team too, how much they spend on having a good coach. They've always had fantastic coach for the main team also. At the point where Avarena was the coach, at the point for the main national team, Avarena was the coach at the point, and that's the coach of the Morocco on the screen. At the point they had Alinovic too as a coach, and before going to the World Cup with another fantastic coach who's homegrown and a legend of the Morocco national team. And they got to the semi-final. You can see the good work this young man has done for the Morocco female national team, talking about Pedro. Yeah. He led them to the WAFCON final. And for them to get to the WAFCON final shows how good he is. And, in the space of within 1 year, coming up with this fantastic squad. And they've actually not done really bad. You can see it from their play that this is a team that is well trained and well blended. So it shows that he also knows what he's doing. And it's just, my eyes will surely be on them when we go for the next WAFCON. And I expect, a better outing from African zone go for the next Olympics next year in in Paris. Yeah. So I expect a better outing from Africans. So, it's nothing really much. It's not like they've not really looked out of place. They're actually a fantastic squad.
All right, they're actually a fantastic squad. This is the 35th minute of the first half, and the match is becoming intense. And the match between South Korea versus Germany is still 1-0 in favor of South Korea. And right now, what do you expect the Germans to do? Because it's not looking good for them at all.
Well, it's not really good for them. That is not about the Asians. We saw it in the game between Japan and and Spain. If you're trying to put the ball on the foot, they know how to frustrate the opponents. Talking about the Europeans, and won't let them play to their own strengths. That's what we've seen in this game. You know, the South Koreans' defense has actually been compact enough to held on every challenge from Shola and Pop in this game. They've not really let them see more play in this game. So it's one thing they bring to the game. You know, you have to be very much careful when you're playing against the Asians. And the Germans have to be careful also so they won't concede the next goal. Because they are looking more likely to even concede that second goal. Because they will be coming all out to get a goal against the Koreans. And you can see it from their play that this is they're actually very fast. You know, they can get that goal against any run of play. And that is one thing the defense have to be careful of. So they don't get themselves into more trouble while trying to get a goal that will take them out of trouble. What else?
All right, let me quickly give you a live standing of the situation of Group H right now. It is Colombia who is having 7 points, Morocco 4 points, Germany 3, South Korea 3. If it ends like this, that would be very good news for the African side.
That would be a very good news for Africa, and that's the news we're actually praying for. You know, we're still praying that this game ends in a draw, and this ends in a defeat for Germany. You know, we're having 3 out of 4 African representatives in the second round is actually a very good one for them. It's just unfortunate for Zambia that they fell in that group they are. Because they were also on the verge of making it out of the group. But, you know, in that group, you have to look at it. A group that has Spain and Japan. These are world beaters. So it was unfortunate for them. But, you know, they got 3 points. And you could see the happidness on the players' face after getting that 3 points. You know, they go on with a lot of pride. Because they gave a good account of themselves. Apart from, I didn't really see bad play from them. So just inexperienced playing against a very good teams in that group that was the shortcomings for the Zambians. So having a third African in the second round, we know it will go a long way, and that is G with that shot for Morocco, for South Korea, sorry. And this is one thing the Germans have to be careful of in that game. Like I rightly predicted, they are very good at outside shots. Once they are not getting to your box, they go out for the outside shots killers, and they get it right 1 out of 2. So they have to be very much careful how much chance they are giving to the South Koreans to actually attack their goalkeepers from outside the box. And to the Moroccan games, if they're having 3 Africans in the second round, talking about Nigeria, Morocco, and South Africa, it's a very big one and a very good one for us. And it's surely going to increase our coefficient and the number of teams from Africa that will be going to the next World Cup, maybe probably from 4 to 6. So it's going to be a good one for us if we have 3 out of our 4 representatives in the second round. It shows how much the game have improved in Africa.
Of course. What do you have to say with the likes of Sinclair, Mata of Brazil, Sinclair of Canada, out of the tournament in the first round? Without even scoring a goal, win the record holder of all-time highest goal scorer in the FIFA.
She has paid her dues. And at the age of 30, is she 38 or 37 right now?
Yeah.
She already paid her dues. The age, you know, at a point, nature is going to call, and you know you're aging, and for every start there's always going to be an ending, and that was our last game for Brazil national team. She has really given a good account of herself at FIFA World Cup. At a point, she was the FIFA best player for female. She actually dominated that award, so it shows how good she is. So it's time for her to just take a final goodbye and let the young players also come up. Brazil have fantastic young players when it comes to female football. They will always produce young players. And it's not just Mata. There's Christiani in that team also who will also be retiring. And same thing goes to Sinclair. That's another player a fantastic player when it comes to female football.
We have the all-time highest goal scorer and 190 goals.
She also
40 years old.
She also paid her dues for the Canadians. So it's about time she take that final goodbye. We also have our very own Onomebi, who will also be playing a final FIFA World Cup. A lot of legends, fantastic legends who have actually paid their dues. It's just about time they have to actually, take a leave so the young girls can come up and grow. Let's say how much FIFA or their respective country, you make use of their experience and, bring them back into the game and see what they can offer to the growth of the game. That's what really matters. And you look at the teams like Jamaica. We saw Jamaica against Brazil yesterday. They gave a good account of themselves. And that is what we are talking about, the growth of football. We are seeing a lot of teams we look as minors. They are coming up against the superpowers nations, and they are giving a good account of themselves. We saw Haiti make it hard for everybody in their group. Yesterday we saw France against, was it Vietnam? I think, yes, it was, no, it wasn't Vietnam. France played, I can't really
Was it yesterday?
France. Yes, France. That France defeated 5-3 yesterday. Panama.
Panama, yeah,
So
Panama,
France
yeah.
against Panama yesterday. We saw at the point Panama got the first goal with a first free kick. You've been looking for a free kick in this competition, and finally,
I'm coming to that.
we saw that fantastic free kick from the Panama players. And you could see the joy on the Panamans even when they scored at 5-3, when they were they're losing 5-1 to France. When they scored the third goal, you could see the joy on the girls' face, how happy they were that they are scoring at the FIFA World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
That is what it takes. It's not really about you losing 10-0 or you losing 10-1. The joy that comes with it that you're scoring at the FIFA World Cup. You know, teams like Panama are scoring 3 goals against France. It's superpower.
Wow.
It's not, you know, it's something to actually cheer about. That shows that the game is actually improving, and that is what sweetens my heart about the FIFA Female World Cup. Because I remember about when we're starting this commentary for the first game, I was telling you that I don't really think there will be a lot of followers and fans that will actually be interested in seeing a Female World Cup. But we could see it, we've seen it from the games we've covered in this game, how much the fans and the viewers are following the female football, which is actually great for the growth of the game. It shows that the female football is now getting popular.
And even the stadium, they are filled up.
Yeah, the stadiums are always filled up, and it's very good for the game. Very good for the game.
And they're having a record breaking. They've not seen that kind of attendance before.
Yeah, that would have been an attack for the Moroccans, but you know, it couldn't go anywhere because there was a foul somewhere in the midfield on a Colombia player. 42nd, we are approaching for the 42nd minute in both encounter, and it is still Korea 1, Germany 0, while it is Morocco 0, Colombia 0 in the second game, which is our focal game of today.
All right, that goal was scored by Matacos. That's for Panama.
That is the equalizer for the Germans. And that was what I said. That is pop. She can pop out of anywhere. And just right now, she just popping the first goal for the Germans, which is actually the equalizer. Right now, the group is going to change right now because Germany will be moving to second position, while Morocco will be moving to third. Wow, good one for Pop. You know, she's always there. She's always a suspect for the Germans to always give them that goal when it is needed. That is a fantastic striker, and that is a fantastic elder from her. You know, they've tried coming in through the ground, and it's not working in trying to break the the South Koreans from the infield. It hasn't really worked, and they just moved to crossing, and they know they're actually taller than the South Koreans, and they took advantage of that, and it's led into a goal. So good one for them. You know, they'll be going into this halftime at 1-1, and they can actually come back in the second half to try and get the winner in this game. Good one for Germany. I don't know why Morocco is coming to my mouth. Good one for Germany. 1-1 right now, approaching the 43rd minute. I think Morocco should actually also be coming all out to try and get the all-important first goal in this game, because it will be so disastrous if Colombia against the run of play gets the first goal in this game.
All right. But what actually went wrong with the German team? What do you think actually went wrong with the German team? I know them to be team that scores 4-5. You know, we are not seeing that.
Yeah, it's true. It just shows how much the game has improved. We saw USA also struggled in their group, and it's not like the USA were actually bad or gave a bad account of themselves. But you're facing off against teams who are actually showing a new kind of strength when it comes to football. You have US in 3 games, they won 1, and that victory came against Vietnam in that group. We saw them struggle against Netherlands. We saw them struggle against Netherlands. Sorry, we saw them struggle against against Portugal in the last game. And Portugal is just like another Morocco,
Colombia,
Morocco team, another relatively unknown team when it comes to female football. But they gave a good account
and
of
in this
themselves.
case, Linda who crossed the ball.
That was just one way I'm sure
it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one, but from Linda,
yeah,
it was a good cross from her. I'm sure the Morocco defense, and you can see how easy it was for them to actually break across the line of the Morocco. I'm sure the goalkeeper will be thanking her stars right now that didn't go in, because she
was not supposed to lift for that ball. She was supposed to have a cool. You look at her; she lifted up and she lost the balance. Look at her.
Because I'm sure the Moroccans will actually appreciate getting over this first half with a full-time draw. They'll appreciate that than losing 1-0 after doing a lot of the play in the first half.
A lot of the play right now. Any moment from now, the first half will come to an end, because this is the 45th minute. We are waiting for the additional time by the referee. No, there was not much.
I don't expect to see much additional time in both encounters, because we've not seen VAR being checked, except for the goals celebrated in the German games. We've seen 2 goals in the first half, so 2 goals were celebrated. Probably we'll be having 5 minutes additional time in the German game. In the Morocco game, we've not really seen any VAR check. We've not seen any need to stop the game, any need to stop play. Probably we're having 2 minutes or 2 minutes additional time in it. So I'm not really expecting much additional time here. But in the German games, we might see like probably a minimum of 3 minutes in that game.
Yeah, we're seeing a minimum of 3 minutes. But can you quickly talk about the officiating of both matches?
Well, the officiating has actually been fair. We've not really seen the ref trying to, interfere in play with blowing unnecessary foul. We've not really seen that in the first half. She has really been fair to both teams. We can see the additional minutes. Yeah, rightly said.
2 minutes.
2 minutes in the Morocco game, 3 minutes in the German game.
Yeah.
So we've not really seen much of any breaking play in the first half. So the times are actually being justified. It's a good number of time given to both teams. So the ref has actually, she has actually gotten a judgment right in the first half. We've not really seen any controversial call or moments in this game. Wow, what she tried to do? Tried to pick the ball with her hand. Wow.
All right, now, earlier on I talked about Mata going out, Sinclair also going out, and some other old players going out. Now, can you just give me like 3 players, young players that are coming in? Now they are going to register their name in the world map when it comes to female football. Like just what we have seen so far in the play of this first round of the women.
Yeah, we've seen we've seen the young Linda Casaido. Yeah, she's surely a world beater when it comes, and she's a potential Ballon d'Or winner. Of course, that is very certain. You can see the good work she's actually doing with a big team like Real Madrid at the age of 18. She's a starting lineup for Real Madrid, playing a massive role in a national team at the age of 18. Shows that this is a young talent that is being unbettered at this competition. Yeah. When you go to the English national team, you have the young, Laura James, who has been doing fantastic well at Chelsea. She's actually the younger sister to Chelsea right back, Reece James. That's his immediate younger sister. And she has also given a good account of herself in this competition. 3 goals and 3 assists in this competition for a young girl. That is a penalty for the Moroccans, which might actually be the first goal, but I think there should be a VAR check on that.
There should be a
VAR check on that. Wow.
But let's look at that.
Oh, there's a push. There's a push there. There's a push. And that's what we say about when you're in the box. A slight push, the slightest of touch can lead into penalty. That was a careless one from the Moroccan, from the Colombian defender. That was a careless one. Because the striker was already going to the floor. You don't need to really push on Girard there. And she actually won a penalty against her team. And the ref will be going to the VAR. I think she'll be going to the VAR machine to check that. But I think it's actually a penalty to the Morocco. And that will actually be a big inspiration to the Moroccans. Going into the first half, one goal up, going into the, going to the halftime break, 1 goal up will actually be a big inspiration to them. Fantastic one for the Moroccans. Let's see if that is going to end up at the back of the net as a goal. Because it's one for them to win a penalty. It's another for you to actually score that penalty.
Yeah, of course. And let's see what it's going to be. Where's the referee's final decision? You can see the protest of the players.
There's nothing to protest there. That's actually a penalty. There was a push. There was a push there in the box. So I don't really understand the protest from the players. That was a careless one from the Colombians.
Well, anyway, the Colombians have nothing to lose.
Well, they have nothing. They still have something. Yeah, they have nothing to lose. A win against them here is taking them to the second round.
Yeah.
Only if they lose scandalously. I think the Moroccans need to beat them about 6-0 to actually stand it. Even more than 6-0 to actually stand the chance, because Morocco have been -5 goals already.
Yeah.
So they need to take about 6 goals or 7 goals in this game to actually beat.
-5. They have
-5.
They have -5. Okay.
Yes. So they have to score about 7 or 8.
All right.
Unreplied goals.
All right. The penalty is about to be taken. She will step back. Number 7 for the Moroccan. I take it. Oh, it was saved. But there's a rebound. And there's a goal.
Morocco got the first goal. It is Morocco 1, Colombia 0. Approaching the halftime break already. Wow, good one for the Moroccans. Fantastic goal. Now, that was what I was saying. Like, another for you to win a penalty. Another for you to score.
He missed the penalty, and there was a rebound, and there was a quick recovery for the Moroccan side, and they got that goal. And that is the first goal for the Moroccans. And that means the table will be shifting.
The ref is still talking to the players. Was there an encroachment there? We'll be saying that if the penalty will be retaken, or if the penalty will be counted. I think there's an encroachment, but no. The goalkeeper was still on a line.
Because he was in the right position.
It should be an encroachment, and it's not an offside.
Not an offside.
It's not an offside.
That should be a goal.
That should be a goal.
That should be a goal, and you can see
that was a fantastic save from the goalkeeper.
the table gradually changing.
Yes, but the table is going to change back right now to to Morocco on the second position, and Germany back to the third position. Right now, Germany they'll be seeing these results at their dressing room, and they'll know that they have to come back into the game in the second half to get a victory. A victory is very much important for the Germans in this game right now.
Yeah, the victory is what they need. Now
And the goal has been confirmed. It is Morocco 1, Colombia 0, while we are going out of this first half. Sorry.
All right, the live table, the live standing. It is Colombia with 6 points, and Morocco also 6 points. Germany 4 points, and South Korea 1 point. As a standard means Morocco and Colombia are good to go.
Yeah, they are on the verge of making as it stands right now in the 45th minute. You know, there's still a big 45 minutes to play in the second half, and let's see what they're going to actually come up. What really matters is the Germans game. That's what really matters to the Moroccans. If they will be expecting South Korea to hold their own, probably get one more goal in the second half, get a victory or get a draw in that game, so they can actually stand a better chance ahead of the Germans. Well, that's a good first start from Morocco. They actually dominated play. They dominated the Colombians in this game. You know, they're not looking fidgeted, or they're not looking scared of the Colombians in this game. Good one for them, and the game has actually been a fair game. That was the right decision from the referee to give that penalty, because the slightest of chances, slightest of touches in the box is very much, you know, it's very much expensive to buy, and they bought that market there.
And they bought it. And congratulations to Morocco. That's the end of the first half. The both end have just come to an end. And the both match have just come to an end of the first half. And it's a good one result for the Moroccans. We hope they can come back in the second half and hold what they have.
And maintain it.
Maintain it. Come up with, but if the Colombians come out with what we know them for, it will be very difficult for the Moroccans.
Well, you know, they've actually contained the Colombians in the first 45 minutes. Colombians, it's not like they've not played what we've known them to play. They've actually played their beautiful football, but they're actually facing a compact team that is actually very good, that is as good as them also. That's why they've not really allowed the the Colombians play their pattern of football or play their game and let them dominate play. It's not like the Colombians haven't tried to dominate play, but you know, they are finding it difficult, because the attack-minded play of the Moroccans is actually making it hard for them to actually get into the mode of play and dominate play. So it's not like if Colombia should come out and play their real pattern of football. They've actually given a good account of themselves in the first half. That's what it takes when you have a tactically brilliant coach. What do you think we'll be fighting for? We'll be shouting for Nigeria to be able to put the ball on the foot and try to sting good passes. When you're stinging good passes among your players, you dominate play and you keep your opponent at the back. That is what Spain actually tried to do. They try to dominate play, and when they dominate play against the run of play, a goal or two might come in, and that is how you play it. It's not you being scared of stinging one or two passes together. That's the difference we've seen in this Morocco game. They took the game to the Colombians. They held the Colombians to the back foot, and it's paid off. Towards the end of the first half, they got their all-important first goal in this game. It's always important you get your first goal if you're on the back foot in a group, and they've gotten it. Let's see what can happen in the second half. Don't forget their game against Sweden, against South Korea. They got that first goal as early as 6 minutes, and they held it on to the 90th minute and won that game 1-0. Who says they can't do it in this game? They can still repeat that such feat in this game and take it with 1-0. So I'm on the side of the Moroccans in this.
All right, before the second half starts, let's quickly look at African chances, most especially the African team that have qualified, their chances in the second round. Let's talk about the South African side. What do you see? What is their chance when it comes to the second round against Netherlands?
You want me to talk as an analyst?
As an analyst.
As an analyst.
Yes.
Okay.
Not passionate, not as an African. As an analyst.
I don't really want to be partial with them, but we've seen the Netherlands. We've seen them against African opponents. We've seen them at this competition. They are a team that is not really scared of scoring the goals. We've seen them against the United States of America. They gave a good account of themselves, and they are not new when it comes to female football. So they are always a suspect. They will always score goals against you. When you look at the South Africans, their greatest undoing in the group stage was the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is the weakest link, talking about Swart. and you can say the defense is not really that compact enough. So they will, and that's where the doing is coming from. They will always concede goals. So when you're playing against a high-scoring team like Netherlands, it's always a problem for you if your defense leak goals. And you look at the South Africans, you look at their attack. How clinical is the attack? It has been next to nothing in this competition. Linda hasn't really come into this competition. We've not seen Tabby bring that our A game. The only saving unit for them has really been Magaya, who has actually, brought her A game to this competition, and she can't actually do anything much like that. So I'm not really giving it. I'm giving it to 70% on the side of what's it called of Netherlands going to that game against South Africa, and 10% chance of South Africa getting a victory. 20% of that game going to extra time or penalty shootout. And when you look at Nigeria against our interesting Jamba country, talking about England, it's actually an interesting tie, because you remember the English girls they are on the surge. This is a new team and they are building very much well. And don't forget, this is the majority of this squad actually won the European Championship. Talk about the female European Championship. They are the defending champions. The experience is there. Most of the players plays in the top club. You look at Laura James, a fantastic player for Chelsea. Jess Carter, a fantastic player for Chelsea. Millie Bright, the central defender, another fantastic player for Chelsea. Ebbs, the goalkeeper, is currently the Ballon d'Or best goalkeeper for female. She plays for Manchester United. You have Leon up front, another fantastic player. Russell, another fantastic player for Arsenal. That team is a star-studded squad. But we've seen them against less team in their group. We saw them struggle against Haiti. We saw them struggle against Denmark before they came into play against China in their last game, where they whitewashed the Chinese in the third game. So they are growing into the competition. But one beautiful thing for the Super Falcons is when you least expect the Super Falcons to perform, they come up with their A game. It reminds me about the game against Australia. Almost everybody were looking down on them that they might not get the victory against the host nation, but they came out, all fighting and got that 3-2 victory against Australia. If the English ladies are having those beautiful players I mentioned, don't forget we also have our very own assistant Oshoala. There's Tony Payne. It's going to be a big battle between Aloze and Laura James. We'll be here on Monday to see how that games go up. But just like the Netherlands game, I'm giving the English ladies 70% chance of making it out of that game, while I'll give Nigeria 10% of winning and 20% of that game going to extra time and penalties.
Okay. All right. With the news we are getting, FIFA set up committee to monitor disbursement of players' bonuses. You were talking about it earlier on. Can you throw more light on it?
Yeah, it's just exactly like I said. It's really good they have to monitor, because we have lots of corrupts. I don't want to make use of the corrupt. We have lots of. I think let's make it this way. Before this competition, it's not like money were not being disbursed. Money were being disbursed to every federations. It now depends on the federations on how they share the money for the players. Right from the time it might be maybe your FA is giving you 10,000 or 5,000. I think it used to be $5,000 for the Nigerian players. That's the cut the FA used to give to them. But what changed in this competition is right now is that FIFA coming out, they are letting everybody knows that this is the right cuts for these girls. $30,000 is your appearance fee for coming into this competition, for playing in the group stage. If you make it to the second round, that is $60,000 directly for the per each player in that team. When you make it to the quarterfinal, another $30,000 is added up to it, making it $90,000. Down to the semifinal, to the final, $30,000 is actually adding up into it.
Enough money.
More than enough money. When you change around $60 right now, you're talking around 46 million naira. And you have a lot of players in that Nigerian national team who are actually, earning less than $1,000 in Nigeria, even where they're playing in Europe. So it's a lot of money for these girls. So right now, with FIFA coming out to mention into the public that this is the amount these girls are earning, we know the FAs that might be really big trouble when it comes to disbursement of fund. We've seen the Jamaicans players also, lay out their own claim over it, that they have to actually monitor this money. We've seen South Africa also come out to, talk about this money. We've seen the Nigerians also talk about this money. So there are a lot of countries who are actually talking about this money. They want this money to get to the girls because they are actually the one who did all this work. They were the one who struggled on the pitch for 90 minutes. It's not easy playing football, and at the end of the day, you are not getting what is due to you. Not even when they already know how much is due for them. So it's very good that FIFA will actually be monitoring it. It's what we expect. Pay the money to the FA. Make sure that the FA is taking their own cuts because there's a cut for the FA. So I think as it stands, we are getting a fall of around $1.8 million. Almost the same total amount the girls are getting is what the FA is also going to get. So it's about FIFA monitoring it and making sure that this money is getting to the girls at due time. That is what really matters a lot. So kudos to FIFA for trying to monitor how this money goes. It's very much important.
All right, it's very much. Can you just we have seen all African 4 teams played. We've seen Nigeria, we saw South Africa, we saw Morocco, and we saw Zambia. Can you just give me 5 outstanding players in just this African, 5 outstanding players that they say, okay, these players have really tried, both from Zambia, from Morocco, from Nigeria, from South Africa.
For Nigeria, we've seen Michel Alozie and Tony Payne, the goalkeeper, talking about Chiamaka. They've actually come into this competition and showed good accounts of themselves that they are very much reliable. And when you look at the South African team, I'm very much interested in Magaya. She has already shown that she's a player, that is reliable. So in the same South Africa, we see Tembi on a very good day. That is the captain of the South Africa. She comes into the game very well and shows how good she is. When you go to the Zambia national team, you have what's it called, Banda Brabra, a fantastic player for the Zambia national team. She also shows how good she is in this competition. She has really shown a good sight at goal, and she has shown that she is actually a formidable captain and a formidable player that can be depended on by our national team. The Moroccans are the ones who are actually a kind of, I call them systematic because they bring that systematic kind of play to me. This is a squad that doesn't depend on an individual play. Their strength is in their team play, which is actually good, and that's why we are seeing all their players looking fantastically good, and that's very good for the team.
That's very good for the team. Before the second half commences, let us quickly look at the first half statistics of what actually happened in the first half. The first half, ball possession was 62 for Colombia, 38 for Morocco. Goal attempt, 6 goal attempts for both sides. Shot on goal, 4 goal attempts for Morocco and none for Colombia. Shot off goal, 4 shot off goal for Colombia, 2 for Morocco. Block shot, 2 block shots for Colombia, none for Morocco. Free kick, 4 free kick for Colombia and 2 for Morocco. Corner kick, 3 corner kicks for Morocco and none for Zambia. Goalkeeper save, 3 goalkeeper save from Colombia side, and the goalkeeper of the Moroccans still resting. Then foul 4 for Morocco and 3 for Colombia. Attacks, 56 attacks from the Moroccan side, then 48 for Colombia. Dangerous attack, 22 for Morocco and 14 for Colombia.
They've actually contended Colombia as very much in this game. The defense has actually been top-notch. Yeah. They've actually done a very good job against the Colombia in this first game, in this first half. Yeah. Let's see if they can maintain that momentum in the second half. That's what really matters, because second half is always a different ball game. If they can start the second half the way they started the first half and try to contain the the Colombians the way they contain them in the first half, is very much important for them. And who says they can't get that victory? They are on the right path to getting that second all important victory for them in that group. So my money is on them getting the victory, but at worst get a draw. But I'll be putting my eyes on the second half. We just started in the Korea versus Germany game, and hopefully Korea gets another goal and leads this game.
All right, that's hopefully. But the top scorers are gradually changing. Yeah. The top scorers are gradually changing. Morizawa of Japan still remain top. But this person, Pop Alexander, just equal her now by having 4 goals also in the top scorers. Then James of England, that's another dangerous person we have to watch out against Nigeria. She's very dangerous. She's also having 3 goals. Then Ari Bogos, who had hat-trick, is still sitting on 3 goals. She has not scored, and they are out. Wow. They are out. She's from Brazil. They are out. Then Diani from France, having 3 goals.
Well, good for
Are they still in?
Yeah, France are staying.
They are still in. Okay. So we are talking about Alexander Pop now have the opportunity to go top if you score any goal here.
Well, there's that is one thing about Pop. You know, she's just that suspect always score. When you give her the slightest of opportunity to score, she doesn't. She's very clinical at the front of goal. That's why she's having that good number of goals. I think about 64. She should be having 66 goals for the national team right now. That's a good number. I remember watching her the under-20 World Cup final against Nigeria in the year 20. Was it 29? It should be 29 or 2010. I remember watching that on that 20 final when Nigeria got to the final. And she was so clinical at the World Cup. And she never looked back since that time. You can see the difference between her and compatriots talking about Desire Okpara and say who was at that competition. Yeah. Fantastic striker also, but not really seen her play at this competition for Nigeria. But if Pop is still scoring a lot of goals, it shows how much she worked on herself and she's getting to where she is. This should be one of her final competition when it comes to female football because she's already 31. Well, probably should be looking at the next competition as the final one for her. And so it's good enough for her. She might get that goal when needed for Germany. And let's just see if. Well, I don't really want Germany to score in this game because I want them out. I want to control them. I want them to start into the second round.
You want them out. All right. He said he wants Germany out, but as it is going right now, it is Germans who are attacking the South Korean, but no. It's still Alexander Pop trying to score more goal there. You can see in the 16 box of the South Korean, a cross came to her, but it was not well utilized. If you look at the match I just started, the second half I just started of both match. The match between Colombia and Morocco have already started, and the match between Germany and South Korea is already two minutes old, and it is Germany who came out with a bigger fight this time around against the South Korea. Yeah, so what are you expecting in the second half?
They know what's at place. They know that they need to get a victory right now. They must have heard the results coming out from the the Morocco game. They will have learned from Morocco actually leading 1-0, and they need this victory from this game. So that's why you're seeing them trying to come all out immediately to dominate play and get that goal. It's about how much spoilers the South Koreans can actually be in this game and try to win the first game. Don't forget they are just looking for their first victory in this competition. Yeah. So they also want to leave this competition with a victory, which is what I really expect from them. They've actually given a good account of themselves in this first half. They played fantastic football against Germany. Nobody really expects them and dominate play against the Germans. So it has been a good account of them. Let's see if the Germans can actually come out and play fantastic football in the second half. It's really been very much important to see if they can get that victory. But I'm actually falling on the side of the Koreans. Because the biased side of me wants to see Morocco
qualify. So that for the first time, you have 3 Africans who qualified for the second round.
It's not really about having 2 or 3 African teams in the second half. When you play fantastic football at a competition like this, we have seen debutants play fantastic football. It won't really be bad having a debutant like Morocco in the second round. You can watch that game, and I'm sure you yourself you are very much happy with the way the flow of play has been. They have held their own against a good team like Colombia. They've not looked out of place in this game. So that is what we want to see. They really deserve to make it to the second round. That was why I was talking about the 6-0 they conceded against Germany in the first game. It wasn't a true reflection of that game because if anybody who watched that game would tell you that Morocco actually played fantastically well that day. But the victory didn't just come in.
Yeah, the victory didn't just come in, and that was they were not lucky enough. But it's good. This kind of football I play. I like Africans to play. We saw South African play such football. Morocco are giving us a very entertaining football. They are leading. We just hope they score more goals. And this Premier Sports Fan Center, you can send in your live chat, and you can also send in your prediction to be part of this family. Our number remains 090-304-99917. And those calling us from outside the shore, remember to add 234-90-304-99917 to be part of the show. So I want you to just talk about the defense.
That's a chance
for the Morocco. We leave it too.
Wow, that was a good defending from the Colombians there. Because if on a good day she could have she could have bought another penalty right there because she was trying to commit herself, and that was a good body movement from the Morocco striker there. But fortunately, they actually won a corner kick. Let's see if they can make use of the corner kick That's the corner kick to Morocco, and let's see what is going to be the outcome of that corner kick.
All right. I want you to talk about the defense of the Moroccans.
Well, fantastic. They've been fantastic in this game. It's not every day you keep a player like Ramirez quiet in the game. I've really seen how they kept her quiet for the past 48 minutes of this game. She's been quiet and looking non-existent in the first half. They've already kept their line. The crosses are not coming in, and it's very much hard for the opponent to get into the infield. You make use of infield to get into their defense. We've really seen the Morocco goalkeeper. She has really been home and dry in this game. Not really much as she's seen in this game. So it shows how good that defense is. That defense, if there's anything that is bad in this Morocco team, it's not that defense. That defense has been top notch. But the strikers needs to actually complement that. They need to get another goal, so that by the time there's an error, because you can't keep it being compact for 90 minutes. There will surely be an error at a point in the game, and I just pray that error won't be leading into an equalizer or leading into a goal that will see the Moroccans go down in this game, because they've actually played so much and they actually deserve whatever the scoreline is right now, and they're still giving a good account of themselves in this game.
So giving a good account of themselves. And also, what about the midfield? What about the midfield? I can see that there is a marriage between the defense and the midfield.
Yes, there's a good marriage between the defense and the midfield. The midfield has actually not looked out of place in this game. They've actually been very good. But that goal doesn't show it's not a true reflection of the Colombians also, because the Colombians they've also been very good at the back, to the midfield, to the front line. That's why this game to me is actually very much of a 50-50 game, because both teams are giving a good account of themselves already. And Colombia's midfielders too, they've actually been nice. They were just unfortunate, to give away that penalty at the dying embers of that game.
One thing I think the Colombians should avoid as much as possible is, for one, getting a yellow card and even trying to get a red card that will be against them in their next match.
Yeah, that's very much important, because they have to, any red card right here. No, I don't really think red cards transfer into the next round. I think it ends within the first round, so there shouldn't be any problem with any red card right now.
What about the match between Nigeria? It was a different. The red card given to Ajibade,
Abiodun,
and Aminat,
Alimat. No, they got the red card on the final. Yeah. They got the red card on the final.
So it was African Cup of Nations and translated to the World Cup.
Yes, that moves to the World Cup, because we need to check that rule. Because I think once you get in a card in the first group, in the first phase of the competition, it is cancelled moving into the knockout stage, where you start another compilations of card again. That was different. And the red card, Abiodun got in the first game. There was a seat on it. It was supposed to be a one-match ban, but after inquiry by a FIFA committee, it was moved to 3-match ban. So she won't be facing off against England in the second round also, until she completes her 3-match ban. But normally a straight record is 1-match ban.
All right. Talk about the attack of these Moroccans. The final forward.
Well, just like the the Colombia attack, it hasn't really been existent in this game. Also, the Colombia's defenders have actually held their own very well against the Morocco strikers. Just the same way the Moroccan's defenders have actually held their own against the Colombia's forward also in this game. So it hasn't really been existent in this game. I've not really seen much bite from the Morocco strikers at all in this game.
I've not really seen much bite. And let's talk about the German side. We've seen them so far. It's like what? I don't want to preempt. What is the problem with the attack of the Germans?
Well, I think I can't really fathom a problem for the Germans. It's just like that's what they've been in this competition. I remember coming into this competition, they had a friendly match with Zambia. Yeah. As much as Zambia is not really good at this competition, they got a victory against the Germans. So it shows that there's a problem somewhere. Probably the players are very much aging, and I expect the younger Lupos to actually be on the pitch by now for the Germans, if they actually very much fancy getting a victory in this game. Because the creativity has actually been, next to nothing in this game already for the Germans. So, but the good thing about Germany is they can get a goal out of nothing. So that's why you have to actually be very much careful when you are playing against a team like Germany, and that is the second goal.
Oh, that's the second goal for Germany.
That might just be an offside.
Is it considered
offside? Yeah, that might just be an offside against the Germans. Let's see if the ref is going to give that, or if she's going to name that an offside. But we can see the Germans are actually celebrating that, and they are out there talking to the player who was down. And on our screen, it is Germany 2, Korea 1. That's a fantastic one. Just like I was saying, I guess the run of play, the Germans can just,
let's look at that.
Out of nothing.
That was a good pass. Is there any form of offside there? She went and she crossed.
So this might just be the offside here. The second touch, that's talking about the German second player who went on to nod that ball was in offside position. And let's see what the ref is actually going to.
And the person who touched the ball was off.
She was not off. That was a good team play from the Germans. That was what's it called? Training pitch tactics brought to the pitch. Good enough from them. And that's what they have to be careful of in this game. No, she's not off. She's not off there. Okay. And let's see where the ball was coming. Where the ball was coming wasn't in offside. So let's just see what the ref is going to give. But right here, to me, I think that should be a offside. That should be an offside. Sorry. And that's still Morocco, Colombia are trying to phantom one or two chance. And let's see what that is going to end up being for the Colombians. And the ref is still checking that.
Referee is still checking that goal. Will it be given? The move. And
I don't expect it to be given. I don't expect that. I don't expect.
Can you enlight more on?
And that's Pop also.
Yes, it's Pop. trying to be the highest goal scorer. Those days when you say when you threw ball and it did not bounce, and you were able to control
Let's
it.
See what Vera is going to give. Offside, right? I think she's still checking. Let's see what Vera is actually going to give. Okay, the goal has been cancelled as offside. Rightly cancelled.
Goal has been cancelled.
Yes, it's actually rightly cancelled. And that's one thing the Koreans need to be careful of when it comes to attacking or the Germans attacking them. Because I guess the play right now is against the run of play. They will just get that one slight chance, and that's what Pop actually offers you. When you have a fantastic striker like Pop, she can get that goal at any time, and they have to be careful at the back. They have to be wary of those crosses coming in from the side plays, because the Germans have seen that going through the midfield has actually been a problem in this game. And the first goal, don't forget, came off a cross. And the second goal again came off a cross also. So they have to be very much careful of how much spaces and chance they give to the Germans on the wing for them to kick one cross into the box, and it's still the Germans who are on the play. And the cross, another one from Pop.
Do you know something? They've actually studied the South Koreans. One, they know they are very short, and now they are flying the ball on air and flying with the headers. You can't compete with them.
They are not short, they are average. Wow, fantastic nodding from Pop there. That was heading straight into the net. So they have to be very much careful. They are giving a lot of rooms, a lot of space to the Germans on the wing. And that is why we are seeing Germany trying to get every ball into the net. You can see how much they are different. You see the difference in the height from the Germans to the Koreans. And we might just be seeing another goal off another heading or nodding in this game. Very much possible in this game, no doubt.
Very, very much possible in this game. And you can see the both match hitting up. It's still the 57th minute. It is still one for Morocco and none for
Colombia.
Colombia.
And in the 60th minute right there, it's Korea 1, Germany 1.
And the live standing still remain Morocco second position, Colombia first, and Germany still third with 4 points. So if it ends like this, that would be a good one for Africa.
That would be a good one for Africa if it ends like this. But we actually need Korea to actually up their game in this encounter. Because one more goal for Germany here is going to spell doom for them, because they will concede more goals if they allow the Germans back into this game.
Look at the height between the Germans and the you can't even see the South Korean.
It's so much bullying. It's so much bullying right there. The Germans are so tall. They came into this competition with a lot of giants, and that's what we're seeing.
And quickly taking is that but head there.
No. And I'm very sure the Koreans will actually be thanking God right now, because they have the opportunity of clearing their lines now.
And it's Kelsedu who has one defender to beat. What did she do? 2 defenders now, and she just run past them a quick. Who can you imagine?
That should have been an instant hit, not wow. That's a bad net. Wow, that should have been it. That's the difference between a man and a female when it comes to football. That ball which came into the striker to Ramirez there should have been an instant hit because she was free. She was free. Very much open there. Very much open there. She shouldn't have controlled that ball. Take it one touch. As it's coming, it should be very much hard for the goalkeeper to have saved that. But good leg save from the Morocco goalkeeper there. For the first time in this game, she has been called into action, and she gave a very good account of herself. That was a very good save. I'm very sure David De Gea will actually be proud of that. We can see Colombia has already made a substitution. Montoya is out. She has actually played fantastically well for the Colombians, and it's Ospina Garcia who is in for the second half. Let's see what she can actually offer for the remaining 30 minutes of this game, because we have 30 more minutes to play. It's still a very much long time when it comes to football.
Very much long time when it comes to football, and every team have to make use of every minute and every opportunity they have.
It's very much important. It's very important.
It's like the Colombians are beginning to come out in the second half, because this is the only time they've had try and shot. And this is the only time they've been able to penetrate through the defense of the Moroccans in the second half.
Yeah. We've seen more of the Colombians in the second half. But, you still have to give it to the defense line of Morocco. They've actually held their own to in this game. It's the strikers who are actually letting them down, because they've not really created anything in this game. Right from first half, we've not seen much creation from the Morocco attack line. They need to get into this game. They need to grow into this game, because they are giving the Colombians an opportunity of playing in their line. And you can see in the Morocco and the Colombia's side of the box, we have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Colombians in their own side of the half. They are all jolly camped in the half of of the Moroccans, which is actually very much bad for the Moroccans in this game. They need to attack the Colombians as much as they did in the first half, but they have to be careful. That is one important thing. They have to be careful, because so you don't attack and concede an unnecessary goal.
So they don't attack and concede unnecessary goal. And, the assist of that game for Pop that scored was from Horst. There's a Horst Svenja. She created that assist. And substitution here. For the German side. The German just made a substitution now, and it is Loman who is coming in for Bohi. The man is coming in for Bowie. The man plays for Bayern Munich, and she's coming in for Bowie. I think that is a good one. We'll be expecting this substitution. We'll be expecting more.
Yeah, we'll be expecting substitution from the Germans. That's a good attacking substitution from the Germans. Let's see what she can actually bring to offer. Playing for its big team like Bayern Munich shows how brilliant and how good you are. So let's see what they can actually offer. They actually made 2 substitutions already in the second half. This is about the time they have to get that second goal. They need that goal to stand a chance of making it to the second round, because they'll be hearing the proceedings from the game between Morocco and Colombia right now. They will know that it is 1-0, and if it stands this way, they'll just be going. They'll be another one of the big, powerful nations in this competition will be going on. Don't forget the big nations like Brazil are out from the group stage. Another big nation like Canada is out on the group stage. So these teams are actually not scared of the superpowers when it comes to this competition. They've actually showed that they can hold their own against the big teams. So it's very much good, and they have to be very much careful. They know that they have to get the second game. The second goal is very much important for the Germans in this game. The female football is already moving from it. It's moving from the time of you making use of your country name and history to dominate or to put a fear into your opponent. Right now, these teams don't play with respect. They come at you like. We are all on the same level. Yeah, okay. It's actually good for the game.
It's actually good for the game. It's a surprising, honestly, for me, it's a surprising tournament. A lot of surprises I saw in this tournament. A lot of underdogs, as they were called, but actually they were not underdogs. They were able to prove themselves to be good contenders of what we are seeing in the World Cup. And you can see the German trying to attack. And it is Purple in the team box. What is happening? But they didn't give her that chance. And then you can see the Colombia also trying to score. Within 1 minute, they've had 2 corner kicks against the Moroccans.
Morocco needs to be careful right now, because they're giving a lot of chances. They're giving away a lot of chances to the Colombians, which is actually not very good for them. They need to be careful at the back because a lot of fouls and you giving a lot of chances to the Colombians. At a point in this game, you're going to get the error is going to come in. You can see the referee signaling to the player down that the time that is telling the VAR or the fourth official that she is taking the time out. A lot of time will be added on for all this time wasting. That is one important thing these players need to know right now. You can't cheat the game anymore. The number of the higher you waste time, the higher number of minutes will be added at the end of regulation time. And you know there will be a lot of pressure going into regulation time. So they should actually try to cut all this unnecessary time wasting. It's not always good to waste time in football these days.
Yes. Lachwan is coming in for Debris, so it's on the German side. Lachwan play for Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
And she's coming in for the German side. I see the German trying to, strengthen their...
Yeah, they've actually made a good substitution, bringing good wingers, wingers who are actually fast and tactical with the ball. They are very good at the foot level. I watched Lachwan when she played against Arsenal female team. And she gave a good account of herself in that female, UEFA Champions female, UEFA Champions League, the female version. She gave a good account of herself in the semi-final against Arsenal. Even the final that they lost.
Oh, you can see the German 18 box trying to create a chance there, no? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let's see, that is the counter. Yes, they need the goal, and that is very much important. It's the difference between the South Korea and the Germans is that, and the Japanese that we saw against Spain is that they are not very fast on the counter. If Germany is playing like this against Japan, I'll fancy Tamaya getting a chance of getting a very good goal against them. So they've not really. Probably they are playing. The Koreans are very much okay with the game being 1-1 because it's a respectable score line for a team that is home and dry already. So that is just it. I expect. But let's see. A late surge might happen and they can get one more goal. But they've not really looked that good since scoring that first goal in this game. Yeah. It hasn't really been we've not really seen much of the urgency. They've not been urgency. They've not been that bite from a team that actually wants to score, a team that wants to win this game.
I see what they're doing at delay tactics.
Yeah. It's not going to work for anybody because the more you delay, you are adding more time. You're giving the opponent more chance to have more time at you or at the end of the regulation time. And it's not just in Europe alone. We saw it happen at the Niger Super 8 also.
And it's the Moroccans who are trying to attack. Oh,
we saw it happen at the Niger Super 8 also, whereby Sporting Lagos players were trying to waste time.
Yeah.
When the added time came in, we saw about 13 or 14 minutes added additional time.
And
that was where Remo Stars got the victory. So, referees are already getting a hand on that deceit. It's not going to happen anymore. So it's about you just putting the ball on the field. Let the ball roll more than the amount of time you spend, being on the floor. It's very much important for teams. They need to do it.
All right, they need to do it. And for a player to stay after playing 90 minutes and an additional 15 minutes, it will be so tiring, so exhausting for them. And they want to avoid it. They want to avoid it. At this time around, the coaches should be telling their players, no need of delay tactics. There's some kind of delay tactics you will do that will not add much time. Like holding the ball from the wing side.
Yeah, that's not delay tactics. The delay tactics is you getting the ball out of play and you're not letting the ball to roll. Or the ball not being in play, that's where the delay tactics come from. Yeah. So when you run to the side net and you try to defend, it is not in delay tactics. It's when the ball is not in play that is delay tactics. So that is what they have to
when it's in place, that should be the only delay tactics by playing it, by holding it, or taking possession.
Holding onto possession.
Don't get. I think that's the best way to delay the tactics.
Yes, that's the best.
So that the match can end when it's supposed to end, and then we have.
You have enough time to actually, take the victory because it's always a lot of pressure when you waste time. And we can see on our screens the 78th minute approaching the 71st minute in the Korea game against Germany. It's still Korea 1, Germany 1. And in the Morocco game, they're approaching the 68th minute. It's still Morocco 1, Colombia 0. But for the past 5 minutes of this game, we've seen the Colombians, do much of the play against the Moroccans. And let's see, that's the clear out from the Moroccans. And Moroccans, let's see what they are going to do with that. But the Colombians are back in control of that. A lot of good game. This game actually very, very much interesting. and you know it's
so much
been a lot of pressure for all the teams playing in this game. It's just about the the Colombians are actually the ones, you know, lose or win or lose, they got this. Wow, she was trying the defense opening pass there, and we can see Casaido who is trying to run and pick out the ball, and she held on to the ball. That is 1-on-1 against the Morocco, and she beats our man. And let's see, that's a corner kick. Wow, that's a goal kick. That was out of play, and you can see she's looking tired and she has actually played a lot of competitions this year, lots of football.
She's looking tired, and she's looking.
Is that not an hamstring?
You know, somebody tapped her leg. Somebody matched her.
Yeah, that was the first half.
Yeah, and that was the leg.
She got herself back, and she was okay. I think that running had a lot of effects on her. The fatigue is telling. You know, she has played a lot of football for her age. Don't forget, she's still an 18 years old lady, so she's still very much young. And you know,
is it not time for the coach to rest?
Yeah,
her?
I think it's time for the coach. It's time for the coach to actually rest her. You know, when you look at, you still have a second round to play, and you still need your talisman. You can see that Ramirez hasn't come to party this much in this game. Any injury to Casaido is actually a big blow to the Colombians going into the second round. And you know, the second round is a knockout stage. There's no room for you losing one and you trying to win it again in the second game. Everything you have to do, you have to be clinical about it in the second round, and you need your very best players to be available for you. So that is one thing they need to. If I'm the coach, by the time we get to the 70th to 75th minute, I'll be withdrawing Casaido from this game and possibly withdrawing Ramirez. The game can get worse than you losing 1-0, and that 1-0 still takes you to the second round. So there's no need you risking your best players, you know, for nothing.
Look at that penalty saved by the goalkeeper, and he rebounds.
And they were lucky. To get that rebound.
The German 1-1. What a save!
By the goalkeeper. Pop still keeps on popping. She has really been a big threat to the Koreans. You know, the goalkeeper held her own there. You can see another crossing into the line, and another good nodder from Pop there. She got that. Wow, that was fantastic.
And the goalkeeper was balanced.
Wow.
You know, balanced. She was just watching, and she got it.
You know, I won't be surprised if that second goal comes in for Germany in this game. Off another elder in this game. I was even thinking the Danes were the ones who came to this competition to try and get all go through nodding, not knowing there's another team like Germany who are also going to make use of that. Because if you look at the Danes, most of their goals has come off you know, headers. Even the Swedish in this competition, most of their goals has come off headers in this competition, and they've actually given a good account of themselves. They've actually shown that they are very good when it comes to crosses in this competition. And let's see, that's a free kick to the Colombians against Morocco in the 71st minute of this game, and that's good. The goalkeeper had that covered. Wow.
If we look at the two goals, I'm going to just rate the two goalkeepers so far.
Well, they've actually been fantastic, you know, no doubt. In the first half, we were complaining of we didn't see the Morocco goalkeeper, you know, being called into the game.
Yes.
But you know, the few times she has been called into play in the second half, she has actually held her own very well against the Colombians. And the Colombian goalkeeper, except for that penalty, we've not really seen much, you know, threats against our post. So that shows how much horrible the Colombians and the Morocco's strikers have been, and that's an opportunity for Colombia to actually get an equalizer with that big equalizer. Oh, what a save from the goalkeeper!
What a save!
You can see the players all run into the goalkeeper. Linda Casaido can't even believe that she was losing that. She was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and by our standards, that should have been the equalizer for the Colombians. The first time they were actually, you know, outbeat or outrun the the Moroccan defense. And that was a good one. Wow, that was a fantastic save from the goalkeeper. She held her own right there. You know, that was just a fingertip save. A fingertip save from the goalkeeper there. Good one for the goalkeeper.
Linda would have been the only player who have scored in the three consecutive group stage of the match, because she scored in the first one, scored in the second one. And if she score here now, I mean, I think she will be on record.
Wow. Still have a lot of minutes to play in this game. You know, it's still the 70th.
This girl should be substituted. She's
leaping already. I don't know why the
coach.
I don't know why the coach is not stopping her, because the more time she spends on that pitch, the more they are aggravating that injury on her. They need to actually make that substitution anytime soon.
somebody should call on the attention of the coach. That is why they are there. And you can see it. You don't need her to tell you. You can see it. So, and the match between Germany is coming to this match. I expected Germany to win this match.
Yeah, we all expected Germany.
What I'm seeing right now, that's to tell you, the Germans they are not as good as they used to be before.
Well, they are not as good as they used to be before. You know, it still has to be based on the quality of play we've seen in this competition. You know, teams are not giving that respect to the superpower team, the powerful teams in the female football anymore. We saw Vietnam also try to do that against the United States of America. Everybody expecting US to beat Vietnam by close to a large goal margin, probably 8 to 10-0. And fortunately for the Vietnams, they lost that game 3-0. We saw Portugal against against the United States of America also. They held their own, and US were very close, just that very close. They had to be thankful for the crossbar that held that Portugal surge against them. That will have set the US packing in the group stage. We've seen Germany, we've seen Brazil go out of this group stage. We've seen Canada go out of the group stage. So it shows the quality of play in this competition, which is very good. That's what we actually want to see. The quality of play is what actually beautifies the game. There's no point you defeating a team 6-0, 7-0, 8-0 anymore. Let the game just be beautiful. And you can see they are not scared of taking the ball to the attacking side to attack the Germans. It's not like they are sitting deep and soaking a lot of pressure from the first half. They are actually taking the game to the Germans. Same thing the Moroccans. The Moroccans are also taking the game straight to the Colombians in this game. They are not looking out of place at all in this game. It's just about the attack of Morocco to actually, get something in this game. We've not really seen the attack. The attack has been non-existent in this game for the past 75 minutes, and that's a free kick to to Canada and to South Korea, and it's still in the box of the Germans. Let's see what the end product of that is going to be. And the Germans finally clears their line, but the game is still being played by the South Koreans, and they're still trying to attack the Germans. Let's see, that's going to be a throwing. You can see the difference between when the Germans take their corner kick and when the Koreans takes the corner kick. There's so much difference between those teams.
The South Korea, nobody there.
There's no there.
Because they don't have the height.
Their square plays are not threats.
They would have used
their square plays are not threats to the.
What they would have done, they would have used the floor.
Yeah.
You just use ground to attack the Germans. It would be easier for them because they don't have height. And I wonder why they are throwing the ball upward. And when you look at it, they can't lift that far. But anyway, it's a question I'm from a distance. I'm talking from a distance. It may not be as easy when I'm.
No, it's not easy on the pitch. It's not easy. It's not always easy where the action is being carried on.
So it is the 77th minute into the second half, and it is still 1-0 in favor of Morocco against Colombia. Then 1-1 in the match between South Korea and Germany. And as it stands, it is Colombia and Morocco who are good to go.
As it stands.
Yeah.
And that is a
cross.
Oh, the goalkeeper should be letting that going out. That was going out for the corner kick. I think she should be saving that. Okay, so it went out for the corner already.
It's a goal kick.
No, it's a corner.
The linesman is calling for a goal kick.
It's a corner kick. It went off the leg of the Morocco defender.
A draw. If Colombia happen to score, let's see.
A draw won't be okay. A draw won't be nice for Morocco. They need this victory in this game. Because only if Korea is winning here, then a draw will be good for Morocco here. Any draw here will take Colombia straight to 7 points and take Germany straight to 4 points with goal advantage. So that is why a victory is very much important. Oh, that was not coming out to the striker. That would have been a beautiful one had it came out, because that would have been 1-on-1 between the Morocco winger and the Colombia defender. Which you don't make this mistake at the back, and this might just be the chance, and it hits the side netting from Ramirez. Wow!
That was a good defense.
And you can see the pressure. The pressure is actually coming in on the Moroccos. They are starting to be complacent at the back and making those errors. That was an expensive one to make, And she had the crossbar to be thankful of. That was going into the net. Wow!
I was going into the net, and
that was a good take from Ramirez there.
Talking about Ramirez, She has been outstanding.
In this competition, but not in this game. She has been.
Yeah. She has been, but not in this game, and she has not had a goal. Has she scored a goal?
No. Yeah. I think no. She doesn't have a goal yet in this competition. She doesn't have a goal because the first game, I think they won courtesy of Casaido's goal, and against Germany, she wasn't the one who got the goal. I think she's still looking for her first goal. But you know, she has been doing a lot of hold-up play, lot of hold-up play for the. Wow, they need to be careful not to win the penalty. Good one, the ref was there because that was a suspect to be a penalty there, and that is Ramirez again. They have to be careful. They have to be careful against the Colombians up front. And let's see in the game between Morocco, in the game between Germany and Korea, it is still 1-1, and we are approaching the 82nd minute. We can see the ref. I think VAR already called out to check that if there's going to be a penalty there for Colombia. I just hope that is not going to be a penalty.
Hope it's not going to be a penalty. Well, let's see the final decision of the referee. And the Koreans, the Koreans, talking about their defense. In the first and second match, I didn't see their defense so solid like this. But against the German side,
well,
they've done a very good work.
It's not like they lose scandalously in the first game. The first game against Morocco, it was 1-0. The game against Colombia, they didn't lose scandalously too in that game. So we can't really fault the defense. The attack didn't get them. The attack didn't get them those goals, those needed goals. That was where the issue came for the South Koreans in this game. In this competition, the attack has not really come into the competition. You know, playing 1-1 against Germany is actually a big one, and it's a big boost that shows that the defense hasn't really been the problem for the South Koreans in this competition.
Yeah, the defense, it is that attack has problem. That their midfield is also good, but the scoring is the problem right now.
Yes,
and it will be a good news if that is the standing. You see, both Morocco and Colombia are in the same point, 6 points, and it's a good one. Nobody gave that chance to the Moroccans. Nobody saw it coming, but what we are getting right now is sweet to the heart for all Africans to celebrate Moroccans, and you can see them dancing. They already
those are the Colombians. They have been seeing their team, and seeing themselves on the screens. You can see the Germans already making, an attacking substitution. This is a fantastic player they are bringing. She has talking about is that Neuer? Yes, and Ayomi. She's she's half German, half Ghanaian, and half Togo. So another of Africa's sister on the pitch there for the Germans. Let's see what she can actually bring into play in this competition.
What did she do?
We've seen her come in the second half a lot of time in this competition and try to make some changes. Let's see if she can actually bring that in this game. And still the Colombians who are trying to attack, and that might just be a dangerous cross. They need to clear their line, and they're actually getting complacent at the back right now, and they are clearing the lines. You can see the Colombians are getting into this game, playing like everything is at stake.
Now, but we didn't see that in the first half.
Yeah, we didn't see that in the first half.
They
are playing like they are the one losing. They are the one who are not making it into the second round, and that is actually not very good for the Moroccan side, because they are looking tired, and that might just be an attack, and that is 2 against 2 for the Morocco. Let's see what Morocco is going to do here. Oh, she took one too much chance, just one too much chance there. She should have crossed that out as early as possible.
Yeah, that was a good counter, but not accurate.
Yeah, not accurate. Yeah. The end product was so bad. And you can see that the left back
Ramirez from the right side trying to beat Benzema. What did she do? That should be
a goal kick. That's a goal kick. And don't forget, in the German games, we are approaching 87th minute already in that game. It is South Korea 1, Germany 1. The number of additional added time in that game is very much important. So we'll see how much the ref is going to add in that game. Oh, sorry, we are approaching 86 minutes in that game already. And it's still Korea 1, Germany 1. A very much interesting game. I've really enjoyed this game. I've really enjoyed the play in this game.
And the Colombia are trying to bring in a fresh leg into the game. And it is like they are waking up, and Ramirez will not get to that.
Yeah, for the past 10 minutes, we've actually seen the Colombians got into this. I think now it's about now they'll be making that substitution you've been calling for. It's looking like Lenda Casaido will actually be making that substitution right now. And Moroccans are actually finding it hard to keep the ball right now. and which is very much hard for them. That's why they are getting much pressured by the by the Colombians in this game. They need to get themselves, they need to get that pressure off themselves so they can play as good as they are. This is not what we saw from the Moroccans, sorry, in the first half. So they need to get into this game and get back themselves into this mood and get that second goal before Colombia, utilize their mistakes.
If Colombia can score here, that would be the end for the German side. And it's the Moroccans attacking a cross.
That was a bad cross.
And the ball is still in the danger area. What did she do? A shot! Oh, what a block shot.
That was a
now
deflection.
Back to the right side.
That should be played on. You don't have to take, it was an head. It was an head hit. Wow.
And she's down.
That was a good shot from the Morocco captain.
Chibak.
That was a fantastic one. That was headed straight to the box. So she took one for her team there. She took one for her team with that nodding, which took her to the floor. And you can see the Colombian player is actually down there. And Morocco also, preparing for one substitution. And we can see the Colombians are also preparing to bring on that number 21 onto this game. 85 minutes already played in that game. We are approaching 88 minutes in the game between Korea and Germany. And it's Koreans who are on the attack right now. Let's see what they're going to make use of that. And it's still Korea who are going through the wing. That should be a foul. That should be a free kick to the it wasn't given. It wasn't.
Let me say play on.
Play on was what the ref actually blew there.
But
the South Koreans they've actually given a good account of themselves.
They're really giving a fight.
That's a good one for the good attack there. And it is the Germans who are attacking the goalkeeper should be coming out for that as early as possible.
Oh no!
Wow, Jihadi is actually going out. What? No. This shouldn't be the substitution.
This is not what I thought.
Wow, she has actually played very, very much well in this game. I don't expect her to be the substitution. Gerardi talking about the Morocco number 9. So she's actually played very much. And it's Ayane who is actually coming in. Let's see what she's going to bring it. Wow, that was a leg-breaking tackle there from the German midfielder. That should be a yellow card, if not a red card.
That should be a yellow card, if not a red card. It should be a red card. And what is the referee saying? What is the final decision of the referee? We are waiting.
Right now, the Colombians are actually making 2 substitutions, approaching the 86th minute. And we can see the number 5 is actually going out. And talking about the number 5, that is Edoya Durango, who is actually going out. And she's been replaced by the number 21, talking about Chacon, another fantastic player for the Colombia. You can see how young she is. This squad is actually, built on the foundation of young players. And you can see the South Korean player. She's actually in so much pain. Talking about the South Korean captain who was actually kicked there by the what's it called? What was she trying there? And it's still Morocco who are trying to create 1 or 2 in the attack. And right now it is Colombia who are attacking the Morocco. Good one from the Morocco midfielder there. And we're approaching the 87th minute in that game.
Good flow of football.
Morocco are attacking right
from
now.
From the left side, across. But the defense was there to block it.
Wow.
That's a throw. That should be a throw for the Moroccans.
That's a throw. And that was the player that just came into this game, that just joined the game. That was a good defensive work from her, a quality work from her over there. And we are approaching the 90th minute in the game between Korea and Germany. Right now, Korea will actually be, Germany will be banking on a victory or a draw from the game between Morocco and Colombia, while everybody in Africa will be hoping
the
goalkeeper to be thankful there. And that is still, the Moroccans they're having issue, getting themselves into the box of the Colombians. That has always been an issue for them in this game.
Are you not surprised that up to now Linda is still in the field?
Oh, it's really surprising because I can't really understand why the coach is actually leaving her to play the whole 90 minutes. It's not like it's a dicey game. It's not like it's a game that we actually have a big meaning. I think we have a 5 minutes additional time in the game between South Korea and Germany. So Germany has 5 minutes. They have 5 more minutes to actually look for that winner in this encounter. If they can get that victory, if they can get that winner within the 5 minutes, they will be banking on the Colombians to get 1 goal there and help them out. But the Moroccans have actually held their own in the second half. They play just like what I said in the first half, that they can come into the second half, and play for that 45 minutes without conceding the goal. So I'm very much on the side of the Moroccans. I'm praying it goes in their favor so we can have 3 African nations in the round of 16.
Yeah.
That is going to be a big one, for Africa.
It's going to be a big one.
A big pride,
They are trying to attack from the right side. A cross.
That was the wrong cross. We are approaching the 89th minute in that game between Morocco and Colombia. It is still Morocco 1, Colombia 0.
Morocco 1, Colombia 0. Colombia attacking from behind, trying to form a movement from the defense. Now, the midfield, and the Moroccans will not allow them to have a play. And they are countering, hungry for more goals. Oh, but that was a wrong pass.
The in-between passes has been the problem for the Moroccans in this game. They've not gotten their in-between passes very well, and that is why they've not been able to break through the Colombia's defense. It has really been, it hasn't really been effective. Their striking powers has been not to existence in this game. We've not seen them, try to play more attacking, and we can see the Colombians are bringing up their number 8. Another substitution. Let's see if it's actually going to be the time they are going to take off Linda out of this game, because she's looking out of place in this game already. You can see the fatigue is on her. She's looking very much tired, and that is one more attack from the Colombians. Let's see what they're going to make of this. It's the 89th minute, and we are approaching the 50th minute of the 90th minute of regulation time already. Wow, that was a good sweet move from Ramirez there. That is Colombia, the attack.
Attacking from the left side.
And it's still Moroccans on the ball.
What did you do?
And straight into the goalkeeper. What a good sharp turning from the Morocco striker. Wow, we have a lot of time to play. 9 more minutes, 9 additional minutes has been added by the referee. Lot of time, and that should have been the second goal if she had had the shot. Oh, it was an even offside.
That was a sweet play.
Wow, that was a sweet
play from the Moroccans. A sweet football move.
Wow, 9 minutes is a lot of time in football.
9 minutes is a lot of time. Why the 9 minutes?
Yeah, a lot of injury. We've seen a lot of injuries, a lot of time wasted. I reminded you when the Morocco keeper was down, and the ref was telling the linesman, letting them know that there's going to be additional time. And that's what we say about wasting time. It's not always needed, because if they had stayed up and played the game, they wouldn't have been putting themselves, in a lot of pressure playing 9 minutes. And it's just a goal game, and the pressure is going to come in. You can see in this game also, it's looking like a game that we might actually be playing straight into about 7 to 8 minutes, because they've actually wasted a lot of minutes trying to, trying to treat their players on the pitch. Talking about the Germany game against Korea, and it's still the Moroccans were actually to phantom something and try to keep hold of their 1-0. We have about 8 more minutes to play. It is 1 minute already being played in this game. And it's still Colombia who are on the ball, trying to also get one victory and keep it close to 100%, not losing in the group stage, because right now they have 2 victories and they are on the verge of losing a game in the group, which will take them, which would have a dent on their 100% record in the group. And let's see, we're approaching the 2nd minute already. There's about 7 more minutes to go in that game. Lot of time to play, lot of minutes for the Moroccans to actually hold on to themselves. A lot of minutes for Africans who are actually watching this game. A lot of minutes for Africans who are actually praying to see the Moroccans, qualify for the 2nd round. And you can see the fans; they are actually gingering their players. They're celebrating. I'm very sure they are pushing them ahead.
I'm very sure they are onto the match between Germany and South Korea. And you can see that the additional time of that match is almost over.
It's not almost over, because we've seen this game moving into like 8 minutes. Because she should be square playing that. There's a player out there for her. She shouldn't be wasting that. What is now the need?
You want to take the ball to the line?
No. There's a player free for her up there.
And she was pushed. That's a good one from the Colombia attacker from the defense, trying to create a move here.
And it's a sweet free kick here for the Koreans. Like, we know the Koreans are very good when it comes to free kick, and I fancy this going into the back of the net.
Let's see if we're going to have the second goal through a free kick in this World Cup. The first one was scored by the Panamanians.
Yeah. No, attack your border.
You can see the Moroccans trying to build. I want to give. I didn't know the Moroccans.
That is a chance.
Why did she
slow that?
Why did she slow down?
God.
That was the moment she was supposed to add her speed and no.
Sell it and win a penalty there.
Fine passing. Look at that.
Why did she relaxed?
She relaxed. And it is the Colombian trying.
We're already
to
into 6 minutes in the game between Korea and Germany. 6 more minutes. 6 minutes being played out of the 5 minutes additional time. And still Colombia who are attacking. Wow, that is a good pass to Ramirez. Who should be? That was a good save from the goalkeeper. Let's see.
It was not a difficult one for the goalkeeper.
Very good.
She just relaxed. That's one of the best goalkeepers I've seen in this
tournament.
Yeah,
one of the very best goalkeepers. She held that one in this competition. She has given a good account of herself in this competition. She hasn't looked out of place at all in this competition. She was just unfortunate to consider 6 goals against Germany in the first game. But in this game, we've really seen her give a good account of herself. And we've already played 4 minutes already in this game out of 9 minutes. And you can see the German fans, they are looking anxious and waiting to see their team back in play. 7 minutes has already been played out of 5 minutes minimum additional time.
You can see substitution. The South Koreans, they are buying all the time. They want to also bring in a new leg, a fresh leg. One of their player is down.
We have to be careful here.
One of the player is down. And it's looking good for the Moroccans right now because any moment from now.
It's not really looking good because we are approaching 5 minutes and that's four long minutes to play.
Yeah, it's looking good on the side of the German because any moment from now that match will end.
Well, that is if there's a goal. Because at 1-1, it's not really looking good for them. Because a goal here for Colombia will send them out of this competition. So they have to hold on to this victory. You can see the players, they're actually trying to ginger their teammates who are on the pitch. We are about 4 minutes. We have about 4 minutes to play, and we have to keep hold of it. They have to hold on to the ball. It's very much important, and that is one of the advantage right now because Morocco will be having a free kick there. Morocco will be having the free kick there right now for the in the 5th minute, and very much important.
All right, 50 minutes, Morocco is very much important. Any moment from now, expecting the referee to blow the final whistle in the match between South Korea versus Germany. But the South Korean who is down is still being attended by the FIFA medical team. And in the match between Colombia versus Morocco, it is 6 minutes into the added 9 minutes, 3 minutes left for us to know who will qualify in this group. But as it stands now, it is good to go for the Moroccans because they are second in position and Colombia is still leading. And the South Korean that is down has been stretched out by the medical team of the FIFA, and she has been replaced. And any moment from now, the match will continue. The match will continue, and the match between Colombia and Morocco, it is Colombia who is attacking, trying to keep a clean sheet, just trying to keep their record of unbeaten run so far. And if they can qualify, if they can equalize this, it will be a very good one for them.
Hey, the equalizer is a very good one for them. It's going to be a bad one for our African sisters because an equalizer in this game, they've actually done a lot of defending, and to concede in the dying bars of the game will actually be a bad one.
The free kick has been taken, and
it's in the bars, the walls of the the Germans wall in this game. It is the Germans wall, and that's Morocco who are trying to attack again. And we are approaching the 7th minute of this game already. And let's see what they are going to do. 2 more minutes to play. What?
Wow.
What happened?
That free kick, that shot was lashed on.
No, she wasted that ball. I'm talking about the Morocco winger. There was no need to waste that. You were in control. And we're already in 7th minute, approaching the 8th minute of this game. 2 long minutes to play in this game. 2 very long minutes, A lot of you can see the pressure. You don't want to play against this player.
And this guy's side will just dance.
You don't want to play against the keeper held out.
That is a good keeper.
She should stand up. You don't have to waste time. We keep on saying this. You don't have to waste time. You don't have to waste this time.
The only thing is, was there a contact there?
Even if there's a contact, and that's the Germans who are trying to get one last attack in this game. And that was very much defended. And we are into the 10th minute in that game, 5 minutes added, 5 added minutes. And that's a good shot! And went behind the bar. And that was a good shot from the Giants. That should be a goal kick to the Germans there. A lot of minutes being wasted there. I think Africans need to get themselves updated with this record because you have wasted 1 minute, which is going to add more pressure to your team. stand up and get this game playing. You're keeping the more you stay on the field, the more you stay on the floor, the more minutes you are letting the ref add into that game. We've seen that happen in this game between Korea and Germany. That is why this game is up to the 11th minute already. So you don't have to waste a lot of time. Just stand up and keep this game going, so the victory can actually be assured.
All right, the match between Morocco and Colombia, 5 minutes added and 9 minutes has been played out of the 5 minutes added, and that is not too good. Any moment from now, the referee is going to blow the final whistle, and it will be an opportunity for the Moroccans to remain among those who will be qualified. Any moment from now, it will be added, and it is a throw-in for the German side. And this time around,
wow.
and
the Koreans are actually back in play. You know, I think any moment from now, we should be hearing the final whistle in the Germans game, because that's what everybody wants to see. But the Germans are still pushing. You know, they're still attacking, and it's the dangerous one. And that's shot! That went all the way. That should be the last action in that game between Germany and Korea. And now we have the Koreans, Morocco as well, the attack. And that's still number 23. You know, she doesn't have body. Why is she doing this?
She's trying to, and she works.
Why is she doing this? And each time she does it, she loses the ball. So she shouldn't be doing
we have
that.
not actually seen much of what actually happened in the main game.
Wow.
When you see two men want to fight. Have you seen it in the women's side?
You can't be this king. Sorry to say, you can't be like, you can't.
Okay, look.
Wow. The additional minutes should be over.
What in the match of the Germany side? What minute are you adding? This is the 10th minute out of the 5 minutes. You have added 5 minutes, giving German chance.
We are approaching the 13th minute. God.
How many minutes of injury did you take on that? We are adding this kind of minutes. Oh no.
Wow.
And when the goal goes in now,
I think this should be the last attack. This should be the last attack from the Germans, and it's a wicked one because it's going to be a pull-out from the Germans.
And you can see the goalkeeper of the German out too.
Everybody
out for that goal, and you can see Alexander Pop too for that goal. This is the last moment. Taking it into the lives. Oh, you can see the South Koreans fighting back, but the referee said plays on, and good, and it's a throw-in for the South Koreans. For German side.
Wow.
Quickly taken, and the fight is still on. And it is the Korean who are countering the German. Let me see her speed, 1-on-1. Oh, but she don't have the pace. She don't have the pace.
Wow. 14 minutes additional. I've played out of 5 minutes. And it begs the question, how many minutes was wasted in this game?
How many minutes was wasted? Why would the referee be adding such a time? And this is the 12th minute added. And out of the 5 minutes.
The 14th minute already.
What? The referee should be blowing this. The referee should be blowing this. What is going on?
Finally, the final is there. Finally, the win here is
and the match between Morocco have come to an end.
It's not yet the final.
And the Morocco are already celebrating
in the German game. And let's see if the ref will be giving us the final whistle anytime from now. Let's see if it's going to be the final whistle, because not yet. You know, the victory is not yet assured. And you can see the coach of the Morocco telling the players, you have to be calm.
No.
We are still waiting for the final whistle. It should be confirmed any moment from now. And it's still the Germans who are attacking. This should be their last attack in this game. I don't know how many times we've shouted, but this should be the last attack in this game. And let's see what's going to happen. The Koreans are really acting strong in this game. You know,
why would the referee add such a time?
And this should be it. It should be it already. And it's still in play.
Still in play. My God.
You can see the anxiousness on the Moroccans. They are waiting for the confirmation.
They are waiting for the
15
minutes added.
15 minutes already been played out of 5 minutes additional time. And let's see, is that going to still the attack is still being played in the half of the Koreans. The Germans are still pushing, but the Koreans are acting stubborn.
They want to pick a point home.
Stubborn. They want to pick a point here. 15 minutes already played out of 5 minutes additional time, and that is a wicked pull-out from the Germans. And let's see, that was a good defensive clearance from the Koreans.
That should feel a free kick. But the referee said, play it on.
Wow.
Well, let me find it. What is the name of this referee? It should be checked.
God.
This is not too good.
Penalty?
This is not too good. This is not too good. With what I'm seeing here, the referee should be checked.
We can't really say they wasted 10 minutes out of 15 minutes. Out of
no.
5 minutes.
This is wrong. This is wrong. The name of the referee.
The players are still on the
pitch. They are still waiting. The name of the referee is Kegley AM. Kegli
No,
AM.
she held on to the ball. There's no foul there. And this should just be the last, kick
How many
of this
times we say
game.
last?
You can see the beauty of the game. You can see the Moroccans, just still trying.
They're
They're
waiting.
following the game. We're waiting for the results from there.
16 minutes out of the 5 minutes at a time, but you have played 16 minutes now.
I think we should be getting the final whistle anytime from now. Beautiful game of football. Beautiful one for the Moroccans. Beautiful one for Africa. Having 3 Africans.
And the match has just come to an end.
That's the final whistle.
Congratulations
And that
to Morocco.
confirms Morocco into the second round. Germany, another superpower, are out from the group stage. Good game of football, no doubt. Beautiful one for Africa. I'm so happy. And I'm sure the Moroccans will be happy.
The Moroccans. I want to say to all my Moroccan brothers, Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Yeah. You know, in Morocco, it is Salam alaikum, not Allah alaikum. In this area, you can say Salam alaikum. Okay. But here in the Moroccan side, it is Salam alaikum. Okay. It is I that is added in the Moroccan side. And that's why I'm greeting all my Moroccan brothers. Salam alaikum. That is congratulations to the Moroccans. It is a good one. 3 Africans in the second round of the World Cup. And for a long time, we have not seen such a thing.
This is the first time we have even having 2. Yesterday was the first time we had 2 Africans in the second round. And today is the first time we'll be having 3 Africans in the second round. Good one for Africa, good one for the Moroccans. They actually played a beautiful game of football today. It's just unfortunate that Gianni will be going out because they gave a good account of themselves from the first game. The Koreans actually held on to that one. They actually became a spoiler in this game. We are going to hold you alongside us. And you can see the Moroccans.
I can see the Moroccans celebrating. I think they've gotten the information.
Yes, they have gotten the information that they are through to the second round. Beautiful one for Africa. Having 3 Africans in the second round. The defending champion, the second place team in Africa in the WAFCON, and the 4th place team in WAFCON through to the second round. It's just unfortunate that Zambia couldn't make it to the second round. But at the end of the day, Zambia got a victory. And don't forget, Morocco, this is their first ever FIFA World Cup. And they're getting to the second round, It shows that you don't need to come every time. You don't need to come back. Before you get yourself acclimatized or very much good when it comes to female football. Good one for Morocco, good one for Africa. I'm so happy in the studio, This is what I wanted to see.
Yeah, this is what you want to see. But there's one thing I want to talk about, and that is the additional time. In the match between South Korea and Germany, at that time it was 5 minutes, but they play up to 17 minutes. And we saw the attention given to the Korean that was down was not up to 5 minutes.
You can't say it wasn't up to 5 minutes because, at the beginning, it was at the beginning of the of the extra time. For the first 3 minutes of the extra time, a Korean player was down, who was being addressed to. And when the play started back from 4th minute to about 11th minute, we have them addressing another Korean player. So that's about 8 minutes out of 15 minutes that was used in attending to a player. When you move 8 from 15. You're having about 7 minutes. 7 minutes played. We have 7 minutes in which the ball was on the pitch. So that's the difference. So it's not like it was a lot of added time. But at the end of the day, we should be thankful that Korea did the good work for our Morocco sisters. So that is one thing. It's not really about you coming into the game and looking at we have to get a draw. Sometimes the victory can come in, and we've seen the victory. And they'll fancy their chances in the second.
How happy are you given the fact that Moroccans will be among those who will be collecting $60,000?
Well, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm seeing other Africans in the second round. It's so beautiful.
Wow. So that's a good one. I'm
going to call Yemi. I just hope Yemi is watching this. Because right from the first day, I told him Morocco stands a chance of qualifying from this group stage.
Yeah.
And the fancy, then it's good we're seeing them in the second round. So
but this is one of the hardest qualification I'm seeing so far because it was so tight. We were looking at the side of the Germans.
It's actually the hardest group for an African nation in this World Cup.
Wow.
But they did everything they needed to do, and they are getting themselves into the second round. Even as of yesterday, I was still saying that they are going to shock the Colombians, and they did just that.
All right, in 2 minutes, can you just summarize everything that happened here today?
Wow, we've seen a beautiful, emotion-centric game today. Even we in the studio, we're so emotional about it. We just want to see another African team. It's always very beautiful when we appreciate African teams at the world stage, and they're really giving a good account of themselves. I think by now we should be knowing who the Moroccans will be facing in the second round. So the Germans were just unfortunate, they played against a stubborn nation like South Korea, who were also interested, they don't want to go back empty, and
they needed that point.
Interested in that one point, and they started the game, very sharp. Their defense were actually very good. And like I said, it has been the attacking side who has actually let them down in this competition. Their defense has actually been top-notch. And we saw the goalkeeper, a fantastic goalkeeper in this game for the Koreans. The Germans will be feeling disappointed that they will be going back home, you know, by all means and standards. They won't be expecting themselves going out in the first round. But that is the beauty of this competition. That shows how much this competition has actually improved. We've seen Canada gone out, we've seen Brazil gone out, and now we have Germany, another superpower, out of the competition. So good luck for everybody for the remaining 16 team going to the knockout stage. And now is where the game really starts.
All right, the match between Netherlands and South Africa will be played around 3 a.m. That's so early. And the match Nigeria and England will be played on Monday. That will be around 8:30 in the morning. You know, so a lot of Africans will be expecting, but that's how far we can go for today. Our next coverage will be the South African match on Netherlands versus South Africa on Sunday, and England versus Nigeria on Monday. That one will be by 8:30. And let's see how African will fare.
And don't forget on Sunday we have the Community Shield between Manchester City and Arsenal, which will be giving live updates right here from the studios talking about Premier Sport Fan Centers. So you can join us on Sunday for that beautiful game between Arsenal and Manchester City, which will be the the curtain racer for the big start of the EPL, which is starting next week. So expect us to be in the studios to give you updates, analysis, and good commentary of that game.
All right, so thanks for coming to the studio.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You can see, I'm so happy.
And it's bye from us here. See you on Sunday when we come up with all those packages. Bye-bye.